Every single choice that you make in your life, whether it be on the daily or whether it be long-term choices, you are choosing that exact life for yourself. So when you choose to every single choice, hello, welcome to Authentically Aligned, a wellness podcast where we talk all things wellness, from meditation and mindfulness to fitness and nutrition, behavior and habit change, healing, self-help, growth, and so much more. If you are new here, welcome to the podcast. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your love and support. And I want you to know that I'm sending that love and support right back to you. Today, I want to talk about choices and how the choices that you make in your life create your life. A statement that sticks with me always, and I probably say this to myself at least once a day, if not 3, 4, or 5 times a day. What you are not changing, you are choosing. I'll say it again. What you are not changing, you are choosing. Now, every single choice that you make in your life, whether it be on the daily or whether it be long-term choices, you are choosing that exact life for yourself. So when you choose to sleep in and hit snooze 6 times and then be rushed out the door and stuck in traffic and you're starting your morning in a frantic manner, you chose that morning, right? You chose a stressful morning. Now, I understand habits are hard to break, right? Habits can be so hard to break, but the important thing to understand is your choices shape not only the life that you live on this earth, but exactly who you are. So understanding that even the smallest of choice can show up in your life in so many other facets. So, for instance, as we just talked about, choosing to hit snooze and sleeping in, right? I get it. We all want to sleep more. We're busy. We live a crazy life. But hitting that snooze button 3, 4, 5 times then leads to you being rushed in the morning. It could lead to you forgetting something. Already, because you're in a rush, your nervous system and your stress levels are so high, right? It's heightened. And then you move through your day like that. So then you may be yelling at the person that you are stuck behind because you chose to leave late. And maybe they're not driving as fast as you want them to, but maybe they're not in a rush because they made better choices that morning, right? So it's all about perspective, and it's all about holding yourself accountable and holding yourself to the highest standard that you want to live to. And again, it's a choice. So if you are comfortable and you would like to continue to, for instance, live this stressful life, then you can continue to make those choices. But I find it very interesting when it's very easy for people to feel bad for themselves or to feel like the world maybe is against them. And I completely understand. Believe me, I have been there, right? I've been there. But the thing is that you are choosing that. So whether it be friendships that maybe don't have your best interest at heart, or maybe it's relationships that don't have your best interest at heart, and you are constantly let down or angered or frustrated by these people in your life, yet you continue to choose to surround yourself with these people. You choose to surround yourself with low vibrational, low frequency people who maybe don't care about you, or maybe don't want to see you succeed, or maybe don't make the best choices for them. And in turn, you're surrounded by that and you don't make the best choices for you. Ultimately, your choices are everything. So your choices to wake up and go to the gym and eat a healthy breakfast, Or your choice is to sleep in and have coffee for breakfast, and then your cortisol levels are high and you're not nourishing your body properly. And then you were rushing out the door, so you end up picking up fast food for lunch. And then all of these choices that you're making are just leading you to feel some type of way, whether that be a positive or a negative way that you're feeling. Every choice you make leads to that. So I think it's really important for people to take a step back and just take a look at the choices that you are making just on a single day. Start this week. Maybe it's Monday, maybe it's not Monday. I want you to take a full day where you reflect on your choices. Now, maybe you wait until the end of the day and then you sit down and you take 15 minutes to journal about every choice that you made that day and whether that choice made you feel good, whether it was maybe a neutral choice, or whether that choice made you feel not so good. And the thing is that, the frequency that we put off, or the frequency that we give, or even frequencies that we receive, those frequencies are also choices. And when you choose to vibrate higher and you choose to elevate and you choose to grow, it's an entire frequency. So when you start to change your life and you start to change your habits and all of these choices that you make, maybe it's reading a book instead of turning the TV on, or maybe it's listening to a podcast instead of scrolling on Instagram, or it's, taking time to reflect and meditate rather than putting yourself in a stressful environment. Those choices affect your frequency. Even the choices to eat a meal that's going to nourish your body versus a meal that's going to make you feel good in the moment. Now, let me tell you, I was all for eating whatever I wanted because I was working out and I was doing all of the right things, and I also was younger. And so my body didn't reflect. Like, I could work out and I could eat whatever I wanted to, and I didn't see it on the outside. However, the inside of my body, it felt that. And not only just my stomach or the way I was feeling, but I was tired. I was in some sort of a depression. I was not feeling good. You vibrate on a lower frequency based on the way that you treat your body. And so many times we treat our body so terribly because we think that we can, and we can because we get away with it, right? But at the end of the day, is that how you really truly want to feel? Or would you feel better by eating a meal that's going to nourish your body, that's going to keep you full? Maybe it's high in protein and you're getting all of your nutrients through vegetables and natural whole foods. I know it sounds like, oh my gosh, it's so much work and I don't want to do that. But at the end of the day, like, your body is your vessel and it is the only body that you have. So setting yourself up for success and preparing yourself for longevity is the highest form of self-love. I had a friend recently. I have this group of women who we get together and we hold ourselves accountable, but I had a friend who brought up in a meeting one day that discipline is the highest form of self-love. And I can't unhear that, right? So now, anytime I maybe am trying to reflect and make a choice or make a decision, that plays in the back of my mind, because what is showing my self-love, right? Is going to McDonald's and getting chicken nuggets, which, by the way, are my favorite, but I don't eat them. Is that a form of self-love? Or is going to the grocery store, buying Whole Foods, cooking a home-cooked meal, and enjoying that time, is that showing my self-love? Now, for me, I have created numerous amounts of self-love practices. And those are the choices that I try and make more frequently. And I know it's hard. We have so many other things going on in our life, and we're busy, and we have to take care of others, and we have to go from one job to the next job, and then we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to make sure we're getting enough sleep, and we have to do all of these things. But the reality of it is when we start to change our habits little by little, you can't do it all at once. I don't recommend doing it all at once. But if you start with one choice a day that you make differently, maybe that choice is, instead of drinking your coffee first thing in the morning, you drink a large glass of water and then you drink your coffee. Or maybe that's starting your day by going to the gym, because you know that by the end of the day, the chances of you making it to the gym are 50-50, if not less. Making choices that are going to set yourself up for success. And I'm telling you, I want you to take this week, set aside one choice that you are going to make or try your best to make, right? So choosing to not let yourself get stressed out or not let yourself get easily affected by others. Allowing yourself to keep your positive frequency and keep your true authentic energy. And sometimes that starts with just meditating. Part of what I do in behavior change specialization is helping people to make better choices. And when you start to make better choices, you see that as an act of self-love rather than it being something that you have to do or you dread doing. So ideally, you want to start to make better choices. That doesn't mean that you have to restrict yourself or you have to go on a diet or you can't have fun or you can't do any of these things. But what it does mean is making a choice to do better and be better in every instance possible. And that's how you start to change your habits. That's how you start to change your lifestyle. And that's how you start to change even your frequency and the way that you show up for yourself. And eventually that's how you change your life, because making all of these little choices and habit stacking, making better choices, making better choices, making better choices, making better choices is eventually what's going to lead you out of the life that you're currently living and into the life of your dreams and the life that you want to live and the life that you want to succeed in. And I know that it can be so easy for us to get caught up in what others are doing. It can be really easy for us to get caught up in the media and get caught up in the should be's. But here is the reality. The reality is you shouldn't be anything other than what feels good to you. And that comes with making choices that are right for you. I feel that so many times and so many people are so easily influenced, whether it be by the media or even just the people in their lives. You know, everybody in your life, even if they have your best interest at heart, what they see as your best interest could be something completely different than what your actual best interest is. And when you find the people who understand that you are going to do what is very best for you, but they support that and they love you through it and they talk you through it and they're there for you, those are the kinds of people that you want to keep in your life. Because the people who are going to say, oh no, you shouldn't do it that way, you should do it this way instead, I get that. They're looking out for you and it's an act of love, but we've all been that friend, right? We've been that friend that says, oh, you should do this instead of this, or trying to give advice. The reality is that that person has to experience whatever it is for themselves. They have to understand it for themselves. And you can, of course, guide them. But when you are trying to lead somebody to do things in a way that you do them or teach them in a way that you do them, it may not resonate with them, and they may be completely out of alignment by listening to you, or you may be completely out of alignment by listening to somebody else, even though you know that they love you and they want the best for you and they're trying to help you. But at the end of the day, your soul is really, truly the only thing that knows what's best for you, right? So choosing yourself always, 100%, 1000% of the time, choose yourself. Now, that doesn't mean to be selfish and you have to let everybody else go and nobody's opinion matters and forget about everybody else. That is not what that means. But what it means is that when people are there for you and trying to influence you in some type of way, it's important to take a step back and not even let the fog cloud your mind. Don't let the ideas or thoughts or beliefs of others change your perception of life, your perception of who you are, your perception of the things that you want, your perception of love. Because at the end of the day, it's just you. It's just you. And you know what is going to make you happy. You know what is going to fulfill you. And you know the things that don't sit right in your soul. So choosing to trust your intuition, choosing to trust yourself, choosing to listen to your heart, to your soul, to what is important to you is, again, going to be one of the things that changes your life. Something else that really sits with me is, again, it goes back to whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. But I feel that so many people can get lost and become unhappy because they are making choices that suit somebody else's vision. So understanding that, yes, this job that you are working, maybe it is the best thing that has ever financially happened to you. And that's great. We love that. I get it. We all have to succeed. We all have to thrive in life, and we have bills to pay, okay? But if this is something that is soul sucking, and it doesn't have to be a job. It could be a relationship. It could be an environment that you're in. It could be your living situation. It could be a multitude of things. But if there is something in your life that you feel is soul sucking, is unfulfilling, is not in alignment with your truest self, why are you there? Why are you placing yourself there? Why are you putting yourself through it? I understand that there can be benefits to some things, but I promise you, when you start to choose yourself and you start to choose the things that are best for you, better things are going to come. And when you sit in these places and environments and relationships that are not good for you, you are allowing that. And you're holding yourself down. You're holding on to whatever it is that essentially is holding you back. And the second you start to release those things and you release what you think is good for you because somebody else told you it was good for you, or somebody else said, oh, stick it out a little bit longer. The second you start to release those things is the second you, number one, find true fulfillment, you find your purpose, you find happiness, and then you're able to step into this next version of yourself. So often we hold ourselves back because we're not ready to let go of some things. But the reality is you have to let go of things, whether it's people, whether it's places, environments, jobs, relationships, whatever it may be. You have to let go of things in order for things to change, in order to level up. You have to make room and make space for the universe or God or whatever higher power you believe in to allow blessings into your life. It's just like cleaning out your house, right? You can have all of this stuff and you keep getting things and stuff and whatever, all bringing these things into your house. But if you're never getting rid of things, your house is going to become cluttered. And how are you going to feel? Like that already irks my soul, right? The same thing goes for your life. There are things that you think you need to hold on to that really, if you let go or just loosen the grip a little bit, loosen the grip, and you're going to start to feel abundance and blessings coming into your life. And that's the beauty of it. That's the magic of it, is trusting and having faith and knowing that at the end of the day, you are doing what's best for you. And that is you living in your truest, most authentic self. And that is where you're going to receive the most blessings. So something that I want you to think about and start to apply to your life is, what are choices that you are making for yourself, and what are choices that you are making for someone else? Make a list. Make a list of all of the choices you're making for yourself. Make a list of all of the choices that you are making for someone else. And I want you to start to prioritize the choices that you are making for yourself. That does not mean that you have to forget about anybody that you make choices for. We all have families, we have friendships, we have people in our lives who are important to us, who we love. But making sure that first and foremost, every choice that you make is for yourself and for your happiness. Because honestly, until you are able to make every choice for yourself, your cup is never going to be full. And once your cup is full, you have so much to give and offer and share with others. But if you are constantly making choices for others and making choices for friends and family and people in your life and never making choices for yourself, then you are showing the universe that these people, these jobs, these places are more important to you than you are to yourself. So this week, I want you to practice making choices for yourself. Whether that be you going to bed early so that you can wake up in the morning and go to the gym. Because that's the other thing, is the more better choices that you start to make, it's going to snowball. It's a snowball effect. If you go to bed earlier, you wake up earlier. Guess what? You wake up earlier, you have time to go to the gym in the morning, or you have time to make a healthy breakfast and a healthy lunch before you go to work. Then your body is fueled, nourished, you have energy throughout the day. You're feeling better. Because you did that, because you made a healthy breakfast, because you went to the gym, because you ate a healthy lunch, now your frequency is so much higher. And then you're sharing that high frequency with the people that you love and care about. And now they're seeing and feeling that frequency, and they're able to receive that frequency and give it back to you. Now, here's a catch though. If you are not receiving that frequency from the people in your life, evaluate your choices of people, places, environments in your life. Because anything that lowers your vibration, anything that lowers your frequency, anything that lowers your mood, anything that brings you down is probably not the best choice to continue to feed your energy into. So this week, like I said, practice making better choices. And at the end of the week, I want to know how you feel. Did these choices change your week? Did these choices change your mood? Did they change the rest of your habits? And how are you feeling after just choosing yourself for 1 week? And then I want you to imagine what it would feel like to continue to choose yourself for a month, for 6 months, for a year, for 5 years. And imagine the growth and elevation that you're going to feel when you consistently choose yourself. It's going to be unbelievable. And I can't wait to see the choices that you make and the endeavors that you embark on because of those positive choices. So I'm sending you so much love and light. Thank you so much for listening, and have a beautiful week.